It's John, and I wanted to go into tomorrow's plays and cover tonight's. I was going to wait until the Hawks finished. Well, originally I was going to obviously wait until Zachary and the Hawks finished, or at least until Zachary was finished, we would have a pretty good idea. The thing is, we have a convenient rain delay, which happy to take the first set there, but I always feel weird about rain delays, just because it seems like the on the other end the other player comes back and looks like Bjorn Borg or something. So hopefully, between that possibility and they were saying Coco was injured, so it getting pushed from a walkover, I am not loving the one set advantage, but I'm gonna let it ride. I'm not gonna hedge it or anything. But needless to say, I do not think we're getting. I know we're not getting a result tonight because technically, in an hour and 11 minutes, it'll be tomorrow. But depending on what time zone you're in. But not even that. Just because I don't think they're gonna resume until tomorrow. Like probably well afternoon. Just because there's really no rush, to be honest, and they do this all the time. So there's just no way I think we get a result tonight on that one, which only leaves 3 units in play. So I figured I'd go through them all. We are in the negative right now. Again, we came into today, I think it was 16.05 units for the week in the profit. And again, if Zachary were to finish tonight, we'd finish pretty well in the profit. It'd be a great night. But again, it's just no way we can call that. And the Hawks, it's going to be another hour and a half before that game's through. So I just thought I'd rather get the games, since some of them are earlier tomorrow, out for you guys, and we'll go from there. So yeah, as it is now, let's see. So down 1 unit because Texas A&M wound up being who they played, and the under. In my last video, I said I didn't care what the over/under was, who was playing. Obviously, that one didn't work out. So -1. Alabama, Florida. I thought Arkansas played, by the way. So Chris brought to my attention. He's always bringing things to my attention. He said, I didn't know because I really don't follow outside of looking at the metrics. He said they got booted in their last game or something. So I had Arkansas and whoever going under. Obviously, nobody played that because it's impossible to play him. So we didn't play. There was no Arkansas. So -1. All Alabama, Florida in action. If we added up the pace from the first half to the second, we would be good. The problem is they always play a faster pace in the second half. At the end, you have the fouls, so could be close. So again, we don't know what's going to happen there. We did get the Auburn cover, putting us up back to even, and we went Michigan State on the cover, luckily, putting us up to Pittsburgh. We didn't do the same thing. I think they would have covered. Some might have got clipped. I think it was like a 7-point game. Depends on, so if you got 6.5 or 7.5, but I went with the money line. So that's one. The Clippers Pels went under by a little bit, so -1 because we lose 2 units, and then the Pistons is -2. I just gonna stay away from symbolism. I thought it was some strong symbolism, but they got pounded into the court there, and then -3 because the Raptors didn't cover. So with the Hawks and the Florida game, we can finish anywhere from 0 to -6, and then again, Zachary wins. We could be in a double-digit, profit. So it really depends on. Actually, we wouldn't be quite double digits. I think we'd be up 8 or something, but because she's 8 by herself, 11 down 3. Yeah. So either way, we're down 3 as it stands. Hawks would put us down to 1, and then the Alabama Florida game. Again, it can range from -6 to even, and not counting Zachary. Once Zachary is final, it'll count for today because we played it today. So it's not going to be Saturday unless for whatever reason you hadn't played it and you're going to play it live tomorrow, which is great. If you won't get the same odds, of course, but if you didn't, whatever, see my last video, whatever the case may be, yeah, you can always jump on it. I didn't check the live odds. I imagine Zachary, and usually if you go in plus 220, win the first set, it'll be about even odds, and maybe even Zachary like -120. I'm not sure, like 130, but we'll have to see. So yeah, -3 and contingent on the Hawks and Alabama, Florida under. So that's really all I can go into because, again, I could have waited for these 3 more units to play out, but for an hour and a half, I think you guys would rather get the picks early. So let me run through tomorrow. We got Duquesne going over again. We got them on a leg 3 for 4 units on the last one. It was set at 145. Now you see it's set more realistically. I'm still going to play my metrics, but only for a unit. Same deal, Vermont and UMass. Vermont sucks on the over, but again, it's not like they're set in the 140s. They're set kind of low. So I still think the public's going to be on the under on these matchups, but I don't like them as much. I'm going for the Rockets upset. I think they have to keep them nipping at the Lakers' heels and the Warriors' heels for a possible play-in appearance. So I think they win this matchup. I thought the spread looked fishy, and then when I was like, that's the Rockets, who happen to be the only team who can make, maybe them the Jazz too. But the Rockets are certainly the only exciting team that could make a run. I think we're going to get the Rockets win. So I like that 2-1 for 1 unit. Grizzlies were just, I believe, it was like, who would they play? Wizards, I think, and they were underdogs by like 2-3 points. But when the Thunder play a team like the Wizards, they're like 12, 13-point favorites. So I just think 8.5 is really light. So I think it's going to be like a 6-point game or something. So Thunder are also really good against the spread. Grizzlies not so much. So a lot of different aspects add up for this one. I like the Grizzlies here to cover the 8.5 for 2 units. We have 2 leg 3s tomorrow, and we might only have 1 open leg 3, meaning, we lose a leg 1, we play a leg 2 for 2 units, we lose that, we play a leg 3 for 4 units. Again, not sure how the Hawks is going to finish. I think we only have 1 open leg 3, but what I'll do sometimes is I'll play a game for 4 units, and then we'll play that basically for 2 of our leg 1 losses. So instead of a leg 1, then we do a leg 2 for 2 units. I just play 2 separate leg 2s for 2 units with the same game. So like two units for the Lakers here, or the Lakers is a leg 3 for 4 units. So that'll be its own leg 3 because we do have 1 open leg 3. If you've been following, you know what I'm talking about. And then for our other leg 3, what I'll do is for like the Raptors lost and the Pistons lost. That's 2 units lost. We just go right to leg 3 for 4 units. It's the same. We'd actually profit 2 units on the sequence. If that's a little too much into the weeds, just leave a comment. I'll go into what I mean by all that. But basically, at the end of the day, it's a martingale system. So that's the best way to describe it. Sometimes instead of 1, 2, 4, we don't do it a lot, but I'll do 1, and then we'll break up a 4-unit play over a couple 1-unit losses. So I just like these 2 plays a lot. So anyway, I like the Lakers to cover the Warriors. I think they're definitely going to win. Thought about parlaying it, to be honest, but you know how I feel about parlays. I think this is a preview of the play-in. A preview of the most entertaining and stacked play-in of all time, I might add, with LeBron and his 4 rings going up Curry and his 4 rings to play as the 9 and 10 seeds. I've been calling this since, not to be braggadocious, but now it's looking more like a probability versus a possibility. And I liked it when it was a plausibility. And again, it just seemed likely that we would get this. So I think the Warriors have a slightly better record. Not only that, Lakers just got beat pretty bad by the Kings. So 3.5-point favorites. Warriors responded when they got beat down by the Celtics. They I forget who they wound up beating, but they won pretty decisively. Trying to remember, because we picked them to win as a leg 3, and they won. But I'm sure you guys remember who it was. We can check. It was only a couple days ago. Yeah, then we got the Mavs covering them. We've had a pretty good read on the Warriors. It wasn't the Spurs. They played them twice in a row. It was longer ago than I think. It was before the doubleheader against the Spurs, or it might have been their first game. Yeah, because we had the Spurs covering the Warriors. Wow, we've been really good on the Warriors lately. Just noticed that. Sometimes we have so many plays I don't realize how we do on certain teams. I think it was like the Thunder or something. It was Bucks. That was it. They beat down the Bucks. I love that as a 4-unit play because again they get smashed by the Celtics. Then they're 3.5-point favorites against the Bucks. Yeah, we've hit our last like 5, 6 Warriors picks, so maybe that's a good thing. Maybe I should stick with them as leg threes. So anyway, I think Lakers are going to cover them just because of the reasons I just showed you. They look amazing, and then they get beat down when their people are undoubtedly going to be taking them. And the Lakers just conveniently got beat down by the Kings. Lakers doing a great job of staying like right around 500. So anyway, I think the Lakers are going to cover. I think they're going to win for sure. The cover could be close. Again, I thought about parlaying it, but I'll just go with the cover. I think a lot of people are going to like the Warriors with the points here. So 4 units, leg three, Lakers cover. Knicks Kings. I like that as a leg two for 2 units. I like the over. Knicks suck on the over. They've been going way under. So the fact that it's not set at like 210, I get the Kings are pretty good on the over, but I still think more people are going to be on the under. So I got that for 2 units. And I got the Knicks cover. Doesn't make much sense to me. Kind of exact, it's the same spread as the Warriors even, which is interesting. And the Lakers given 3.5, the Kings given 3.5. Kings just looked really good, so I feel like at home they should. I'm guessing, I don't know. I guess Brunson and I don't think Randall's back. Sabonis just made Davis look goofy, so I'm not sure again why this line is. And I thought about playing it for more units, but admittedly, unlike the Warriors, I don't have a great read on the Kings. I have a pretty good read on the Knicks, but not so much the Kings. So that's going to be a 1 unit play. And then one of my favorite plays is tomorrow. Sinner beats Alcaraz. That's going to be a leg three for 4 units because my book's got it right down the middle. I believe actually it's plus 105 to Alcaraz and minus 115 to Sinner. So you're going to be laying a tiny bit of extra juice, but not much. And your book might not be that. I see different books offering minus 110. It's basically a pick 'em, but don't want to fall into the trap of taking, say Sinner minus a half even. You can lose the first set 6-3, then win 6-4, 7-6, and it would be a real shame if that happened. I just don't understand how Alcaraz isn't a big favorite. Like, even if it's against Sinner, who's been white hot, minus 150 or better. They were just talking about how Alcaraz's forehand game has been off the charts. So there's no reason. He's a better player, let's be honest. Like, people can try and spin it. He's obviously the new guy. So more people are going to be on him. I think they want to continue Sinner's momentum. They'll get Alcaraz. Also, I think they want to draw a slight distinction. Not that he's not going to be good in each tournament, but really have him look the best on the clay. So I think this tournament, especially with the odds, makes this much more sense for Sinner to win. And then and Alcaraz, they kind of teased the injury too. They were talking about, when he played Nadal, they teased it with both of them. Like, oh, they're both a little banged up. So with all that happening, I think Sinner wins this. But I still think more people are going to be on Alcaraz. It's hard to fade Alcaraz getting even, or even if you're getting plus 101. It just feels like a steal, I feel like, for most people. So anyway, not a lot of plays tomorrow, but a good bit of leg twos, leg threes. 2 leg threes. We haven't had 2 leg threes in a bit. And again, we might not even need the second one. It's probably not even going to be a necessity. Again, I mean, you lose leg one, we lose leg two, it goes to leg three. If the Hawks win, then I think we only have the one open leg three, which would be for the Clippers over loss. So again, for the other leg three, we'll just combine the Raptors loss and the Pistons loss and make it a leg three for that. Again, at the end of the day, the goal is just to close out our sequences and profit. So, you go back, we've done it with all of them. So leg one, we had Diminar. That didn't happen. We took Wozniacki as leg two. This Vermont one was an extra leg three I picked. So HC stands for Hanging Chad. I'll go through these one day, but we're 150 pages in. It's very monotonous, but if you want me to, I will. But yeah, we're like I said from the beginning, we were up well over 100 units still, which is great. And there's a reason I chart them all, just so people can see every loss, for each sequence what we lost. But the goal here is here's one where I had 2 leg twos that basically I combined for a leg one and a leg two loss. So again, we lost 3 units, but then we won 4. So in brackets, plus 1 unit. And that's the goal, is just to win 1 unit. Here at Kentucky, Tennessee, under lost a unit, and then we lost another unit, and then you see I did Tommy Paul as a leg 3 for 4. So that one, oh, I'm sorry, hold on. These are 2 separate sequences because we won Kentucky, so there we go. And I just noticed in live time that's a 3-unit profit because we jumped from a leg 1 to a leg 3. But anyway, there's a reason I run this system the way I do, because again, the goal isn't to do anything crazy. It's just to, you can see a lot of them we just hit on leg 1. Here's a Northwestern. We missed leg 1, went to leg 2, so got that plus 1 unit. We only need to win 1 unit. We don't need to, for every 7, really 8, because you throw in the juice. For every 8 sequences that we win, we can have a 3-leg loss, like here, with Murray losing, then the Clippers Bulls not going over, then the Clippers not beating the Bucks. That was a 3-leg loss. That's a 7-unit loss. So technically it's 7.7. So for every time we have a 3-leg loss, we need to win 8 sequences, and we've been really pacing above that. And what's really helped is these like 1.4s. You just saw a 1.2. I don't know if we won that one, but obviously Zachary is huge today. We got a 2.5 because then that Manhattan win against Iona, that 2.5. Now we only have to win 5 more sequences essentially. Accounts for 2.5 sequences. So I don't want to go too into the weeds. I know it's confusing, but I really like to elaborate on my system and why I am as meticulous as I am with it. I know a lot of people are trying out the Patreon, which I really appreciate, and I could say I'm reciprocating the best I can. Everyone that's tailing is doing well. Like I said, we're doing amazing since we started, and we're going for 10 out of 11 straight, or I shouldn't say straight, 10 out of 11 weeks in the profit. I've said this a couple times, but I think it just bears repeating. It shows that the system's working, and in the long term especially, because we're thousands of plays in, and there's no sign that it's just not gonna work. We just seem to always, even when we're hitting at not a crazy rate, find ways to profit. So yeah, doing really well there. Again, today's -3 so far. We'll have to see what happens with the Hawks. We'll have to see what happens with the Alabama game, and the biggest one's going to be Zachary, because we're looking at about a 9-unit profit on this particular game. It's 8.4 actually, sorry, but yeah, so 8.5 units almost, because it's a 4-unit play for plus 220. So I saw it as high as 240 and as low as 210. So I'm not sure what you guys got, but I imagined it was going to be over 200, and I saw 220 on a couple different books. So I'm imagining more people got that. But either way, we're looking at least 8 units or something from this game alone. So that's why, like I said, this match, I should say, it's impossible to know how we're going to finish tonight until that one finishes up. But that one notwithstanding, -3 with the Hawks in play and Alabama in play. And yeah, it's looking good. Not liking some of the circumstances, because they were like, Coco's team is tending to her, which makes me worry about that she throws it in and then they do a walkover, which would be unfortunate. Because being up a set, obviously, I like our odds a lot better now. And even though I loved her going in, it's still nice to be up the set. And then you have that possibility you come back and the player looks ridiculous when they come back. They say the one player loses their momentum. But either way, not much we can do about it. You can choose to hedge. I'm not going to. I'm going to let it ride. But yeah, tomorrow will be a lot easier because I can go into those results. And obviously you guys will know where we stand. Say we finish today 0. Say we get the Hawks win and we get the under on the Florida-Alabama. Would put us to exactly 0 on the day. Then you'll know we're going to be down either 4 units or up 8 units. So pretty big swing there. So hopefully Zachary comes through. But if I thought they'd finish tonight, then I definitely, and maybe make a liar out of me that they're playing right now. But it did look like it was raining pretty hard. I think they're going to resume this game tomorrow and, let them rest and all that. So it's probably not going to be early either. Probably tomorrow at least afternoon, I would guess. So yeah, there's not much I can do there. And for tomorrow, here's all the plays that we have. So I think we have a good day. We got a couple leg threes. Hopefully we hit them. And Saturday's an important one because we had a really good week last week. And going into Sunday, we were up 20 something units, I think. And we took a beating. So we finished up like 5 units because we lost 14 and a half. But luckily, we still finished up like 5.5 units, which, again, that's all we need to do is kind of look at the long picture for profiting each week. So we're going to have rough days. So I'm not saying we're going to have another rough Sunday, but if we can have the same cushion going into Sunday that we did last week, which again was 20 something units, then we're in a great spot. And then we might do what we did 2 weeks ago, where I think we did 33 units. It was our best week of the season so far. So since I launched this on Patreon. So I think we're looking at another positive week. Zachary is going to play a big role in that, obviously, in tomorrow's games. But I wanted to get him out because, again, I just can't imagine they're going to resume that tennis match. So for just a couple units in play, I didn't think it was necessary to wait an hour and a half and then you guys, if you go to sleep at 11:30, 12, you're not getting them till the morning. So I thought I'll try and get him out now. I think it makes more sense. So anyway, take care and happy earnings.